Good morning to all. Today we are going to see the first chapter in 12th accountancy, accounts from the incomplete records. In this chapter we are going to see about what are the objectives in that chapter, that is to understand the features, limitations of an incomplete records, prepare a statement of affairs, calculate a profit and loss from the incomplete records, prepare a final accounts from the incomplete records. These are the things we are going to see in this chapter. Before going to this chapter, let us recall the points what we have learned in the 11th standard accountancy. We have learned about the basic accounting terms in accountancy, transaction type and the golden rules of in accounting, and journal, ledger, trial balances and final account. Final accounts consist of three things. You already know it is a trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. This is the complete accounting cycle. This is the procedure followed in all the type of organizations. This is as per the Indian Companies Act 2013. This is the procedure followed in all the companies since it is accepted by all the tax authorities. And in this chapter, accounts from an incomplete records. Incomplete, the word itself says it is an incomplete. Incomplete means the records are not fully furnished. Before going to that, what is the differences between the double entry system and single entry system? Single entry is also known as an incomplete records. What is the double entry? You want to know that example for the double entry is that about the journal. Journal is called as a double entry system. Why it is called as a double entry means for every debit there is an equal credit. But here it is an incomplete records. But we have a question that from the incomplete records whether we can able to make an accounts or not. The question is yes, we can able to make an record from the incomplete records from the available informations. They are saying it as an and meaning of that incomplete record is when accounting records are not strictly maintained according to the double entry system, these records are called as an incomplete accounting records. Then incomplete means what are the accounts to be maintained? We can able to maintain only the two things. One is that cash account, next is the personal account. This is the one word question which is frequently asked. The question is that what is the account to be maintained in accounting record means the answer is that cash account and the personal account of an customers. Then example for an incomplete records, for example salary paid. You know the journal entry, salary account data to cash. When we enter both this debit and credit transaction means it is a double entry system. When some person does not record only one thing, that is only a salary account they will record, others they will not record the cash account. It is an incomplete records because both the debit and the credit aspects are not recorded fully. This is known as an incomplete record. Another example stated here, it is a depreciation of fixed asset is the best example for the incomplete records. Next, we'll move on for the features, characteristics of an incomplete records. What are the features means? They are saying first thing is that nature. Nature is that it is a non-scientific and it is not a systematic record. It is not recorded fully. It is not accepted by the tax authorities. Next comes here a type of accounts maintained. As already seen, only two account is maintained. One is the cash account. Next one is that personal account. Real and nominal accounts are not maintained in this incomplete records. Next, uniformity. There is no need for there is no uniformity in recording these transactions since they maintain according to their needs and conveniences. Next comes your financial statement that is not represented by true and fair value. You know what is the meaning of a financial statement? Balance sheet is known as a financial statement. Since the records are incomplete, we cannot able to make a clear picture on the profit and loss account. When the profit and loss account is not maintained, we cannot able to create the balance sheet. Next comes your suitability. It is not suitable for all the organization. Then who will maintain this? It's maintained only by the sole trader and the partnership firm. This is also a one word question, that is sole trader and a partnership firm is the best example for the incomplete records of a business. Since business concern which have no obligations only will maintain this books of an accounts. Next, mixing up of an personal and business. Actually will divide our cash account and the personal accounts only in the business. Here it is mixed up with, so we cannot maintain this. We cannot maintain, for example, purchase of goods for your own use may be mixed along with the business transactions. Next comes into your limitations of an incomplete records. You know, limitation refers to the disadvantages of an incomplete records. First disadvantage is that lack of a proper maintenance of a record. Since it is an incomplete, we cannot be able to maintain a record, and it is also an unscientific and unsystematic. Next comes your difficulty in maintaining the trial balance. Trial balance is prepared to test the arithmetical accuracy. Since the information is not full, we cannot able to check the arithmetical. Next is that difficulty in ascertaining the true profitability of the business. As already we have seen in the characteristics that we are not able to prepare the profit and loss account. With this, trading and profit and loss cannot be prepared with accuracy. That's more important. We can prepare, we can't prepare it correctly. Next is the difficulty in ascertaining the financial positions. Since a trading account and profit and loss accounts are not maintained clearly, we cannot be able to get a clear picture of financial positions of the business. Next comes your errors and frauds cannot be detected easily because it is only a partial record which may not be possible with the internal check. Next it is unacceptability by the government and authorities. We usually maintain accounts just for the tax purpose and for the evidences. Since it is an incomplete record, it cannot be accepted by the government authorities. So these are the limitations of an incomplete records. We will move on to the practical problem, how to do that incomplete records, how to find out the statement of affairs, profit and loss. For this, we have some format to do these problems. First thing is that first we have to write in an accountancy sheet that we have to use the left side of your page. It is only one side of the page we are going to use it. That is statement of profit or loss for the year. And particulars, you know the particulars column. And next is that amount column. You have an inner column and in the outer column. This can be done in the outer column. First thing is that capital at the end of the year, the amounted, add, drawings, less additional capital introduced for the year. The remaining answer will be your adjusted closing capital. Next comes your less your opening capital. Remaining answers will be either a profit or loss for the year. Next, we will move on to the illustration based upon this format. In this illustration, the question is that capital at the beginning of the year, you know, beginning of the year refers to the 1st April only. End of the year refers to the 31st March only, we will say as in closing capital. In this, capital at the beginning of the year, 1st April, so it is refers to an opening capital, and capital at the end of the year, that is your 31st March, this refers to an closing capital. So we have got the two information, end of the year capitals and for the opening capital we have got it. Next comes your additional capital introduced. What is meant by additional capital? Capital refers to initial investment. Additional capital, it is into the middle of the business will introduce this. This additional capital is introduced just to make over the new unit or introduce the further innovations of the product, will introduce the additional capital. And drawings to the year. Drawings refers to the, it may be of a personal uses, will withdraw the amount. From this, how we are going to find out the profit and loss of the business? We are going to just insert the amount into the format, that's all. Actual format I already said, capital at the end of the year. End is refers to the 31st March. The amount is given at here, it is an 3,50,000. Next is that add drawings due the year given it as an 40,000. So net amount you will be adding it and you will get an 3,90,000. Next is less additional capital introduced during the year. It is 70,000. So 3,90,000 minus 70,000 refers to 3,20,000. This answer you will write it as an adjusted closing capital. The word is entirely different. Here they are given as an closing capital for the year. Here it is refers to the adjusted closing capital. It is entirely different. Next, less your opening capital. Opening refers to 1/4/2000 only, your 2016 is your opening capital. Remaining balance only 1,20,000. How do you got this profit? Means if additional capital, adjusted closing capital is more and opening capital is less, means you will get a profit. Once again I will say, that is closing capital is more means the opening capital is less, means you will get a profit. When the closing capital is low and the opening capital is high, you will get a loss towards it. This is the methodology of finding out the statement of profit or loss for the year.